Next we will see what are the purposes of virtual machine. Why we need virtual machine we will see now. Purpose of virtual machine. So when we discuss about purpose of virtual machine, why we need virtual machine? Basically, virtual machines are used for two purposes mainly. For installing one OS in another OS in the same computer, like installing Linux in our Windows OS, and for providing runtime environment for executing a language application in a platform independent way, like we are executing our Java application in our Windows operating system. To provide that runtime environment we need virtual machine, and we can use hardware resources effectively. These are the purposes of virtual machine. So first we will make a note about this. So basically virtual machines are used for three purposes. What are those? First one, for installing one OS in another OS in the same computer, comma, installing Linux in Windows. And what is second? Second is for providing a runtime environment for executing a language application in a platform independent way. And what is third? Third one is we can use hardware resources effectively. These are the purposes of virtual machine. And next we will see what are the types of virtual machines we have in our computer. Types of virtual machines. What are the types of virtual machines we have in our computers? So mainly virtual machines are separated into two major classes based on their use and degree of correspondence to a real machine. Our virtual machines are separated into two major classes. Those are, First one is system virtual machine, which is also called as hardware virtual machine. And the other is we have process virtual machine. This process virtual machine is also called as language virtual machine or application virtual machine, or it is used, we can call managed runtime environment, because it provides a process virtual machine will provide a runtime environment to execute our programs. First I will make a note about this, then we will see about these two types of virtual machines. Virtual machines are separated into two major classes based on their use and degree of correspondence to a real machine. So virtual machines are separated into two major classes based on their use and degree of correspondence to a real machine. What are the two major classes which we have in our virtual machine? We will see now. First one is system virtual machine. We can also call as hardware virtual machine. Next we have process virtual machine. Process virtual machine, also called as language virtual machine or an application virtual machine or manage runtime environment. So these are the two types of virtual machines we have in our virtual machine: system virtual machine and process virtual machine. System virtual machine is a software emulation of a computer system. It means this system virtual machine mimics the entire computer. It provides a platform for a execution of a complete operating system. System virtual machine mimics the entire computer means it provides a platform for the execution of a complete OS. Complete operating system, it will take care of entire computer, and it will create number of different isolated identical execution environments in a single computer by partitioning computer memory to install and execute different OS at a time. First, we will discuss about system virtual machine. System virtual machine. So, what is system virtual machine? System virtual machine is a software emulation of a computer system. It means the system virtual machine mimics the entire computer. It takes care of entire computer, and the system virtual machine provides a platform for the execution of a complete operating system, and it creates number of different isolated identical execution environment. Means it will divide memory into different isolated identical execution environments in a single computer. In a single computer by partitioning computer memory to install and to execute different operating system at a time. Then it allows us to install applications in each OS and run application in this OS as we work in real computer. For example, we can install Windows XP, Linux, Ubuntu in Windows 7 or 8 or any OS with the help of virtual machine. We have seen in before diagram. So in this diagram, we are clearly seeing system virtual machine is a software emulation of a computer system. That means system virtual machine mimics the entire computer. System virtual machine means all this computer. It mimics the entire computer, and also it provides a platform for the execution of the complete operating system. It provides the execution for complete operating system. In this system virtual machine, it will create number of different isolated identical execution environments. Here you are clearly seeing we have 3 VMs with different OS. Means it will create number of different isolated identical environments in a single computer by partitioning computer memory. You can install in one OS, you can install another OS. It will partition computer memory, then allows us to install applications in each OS and run application in the OS as if we work in real computer. This is how system virtual machine works. First, we will make a note about all these points. If you have any doubt, you can message me. I will reply you within 24 hours. System virtual machine is a software emulation of a computer system. It means system virtual machine mimics the entire computer. Next, it provides a platform for the execution of a complete operating system. Next, it will create number of different isolated identical execution environments in the single computer by partitioning computer memory to install and execute different operating system at time. So these are the points we have discussed about system virtual machine. And we have one more point. Then allows us to install applications in each OS, run application in this OS as if we work in real computer. For example, we can install Windows XP, Linux, Ubuntu in Windows 7 or 8 or 10 OS with the help of virtual machine. All these points we have seen practically. I have shown in your diagram. So next we will discuss about process virtual machine. Process virtual machine. So what is process virtual machine? Process virtual machine is a software simulation of a computer system. It means this process virtual machine does not mimic the entire computer. It will not mimics means it will not take care of entire computer with drivers and hardware. This process virtual machine provides runtime environment to execute a single program and supports a single process. Means the purpose of a process virtual machine is to provide a platform independent programming, to compile a program, to execute a program, any program inside computer, this process virtual machine will help. The purpose of a process virtual machine is to provide platform independent programming environment that abstracts the details of the underlying hardware or operating system and allows a program to execute in the same way on any platform. And these process virtual machines are implemented using an interpreter. For improving performance, these VMs will use just-in-time compilers internally. Just-in-time, Git. This JIT, we will discuss about this JIT just-in-time clearly. So this is about process virtual machines. This process virtual machine is nothing but it does not mimic the entire computer. This process virtual machine will provide only runtime environment to execute a program, and it supports a single process. And the purpose of this process virtual machine is to provide platform independent programming. And these process virtual machines are implemented using an interpreter called just-in-time internally. First we will make a note about this, then we will see clearly about this process virtual machine. Process virtual machine is a software simulation of a computer system. So we have seen emulation and simulation. What is this emulation and simulation? System virtual machine is a software emulation of a computer. It means the system virtual machine, it mimics the entire computer. If something it is taking care of entire computer, which is called emulation, and something which is does not mimic the entire computer is called process virtual machine. Process virtual machines provide runtime environment to execute a single program and supports a single process. Next, the purpose of a process VMs is to provide a platform independent programming environment that abstracts the details of the underlying hardware or operating system, and allows a program to execute in the same way on any platform or any OS operating system. So you have understood that process virtual machine will take care of our program execution inside computer. So we have one more point to discuss. Process virtual machines are implemented using an interpreter for improving performance. For improving performance, these VMs will use just in time compilers internally. By using just in time compilers internally, this process virtual machines will improve its performance when it executes our programs. So what are the examples of this process virtual machine? The best example we have is our JVM. Our JVM is also a process virtual machine. This is what I want to tell you. Before explain you JVM, Java Virtual Machine, if I explain you all this, then you will understand how our program is executing internally in our computer. Our JVM is a Java Virtual Machine, means it provides runtime environment to execute a single program that supports a single purpose. It is providing a platform independent programming environment, and this Java virtual machine internally it uses just-in-time compilers to improve the performance and to execute the programs fastly. And for different languages we have different process virtual machines. Like for .NET framework we have CLR, Common Language Runtime. It is a process virtual machine for .NET framework. And for example, for parallel language, we have PVM, Parrot Virtual Machine. These are the process virtual machines to execute their programs to provide some runtime environments. They have their own process virtual machines. This is about process virtual machines. If you have any doubt, just message me. I will reply you within 24 hours. Next, we will discuss about example of process virtual machines. First one, our JVM, Java Virtual Machine, for Java language. This is a process virtual machine in our computer which provides a runtime environment to execute our programs. Next, in .NET we have CLR, Common Language Runtime, for .NET framework. So these are the examples for process virtual machines. Next, now we will discuss about JVM, Java Virtual Machine. In Java Virtual Machine, this Java SDK Standard Edition, which is core concepts, contains two implementations of a Java Virtual Machine. We will see what are the types of JVMs our Java SDK, means Java SE. This Java SE contains two implementations of a Java virtual machines. We will see what are the types of JVMs we have in our Java. Types of JVMs. So what are the types of JVMs we have in our Java language? Java SE, which is JSE, which is the core concepts of Java, contains two implementations of the Java virtual machines. Our Java virtual machine is having two types of implementations: Java Hotspot Client VM and Java Hotspot Server VM. We have client virtual machine and we have server virtual machine. We have two types of Java virtual machines in our Java. First, I will make a note about this. Then we will discuss briefly about this client virtual machine and server virtual machines. Why they are divided into two types, what is the need and which gives good performance, we will see now. First, I will make a note about this. The Java SE means core Java, core concepts, contains two implementations of the Java virtual machine. So what are the two types I have just discussed with you? First one is Java Hotspot Client virtual machine. Next we have Java Hotspot Server virtual machine. These are the two types of virtual machines which we Java SE containing. These are the two types of virtual machines which Java SE contains. First we will discuss about Java Hotspot Client virtual machine. First one, Java Hotspot Client virtual machine. So what is Java Hotspot Client virtual machine? The Java Hotspot Client virtual machine is a default virtual machine. By default, all the Java programs is executed with our Java client virtual machine. Whenever you execute our class by using, you will use command. Which command you will use? For example, you want to execute example class. We will write a command like Java example. Then our class is going to execute by using JVM. Internally, that JVM will use this Java hotspot client virtual machine to execute our Java program. As its name implies, it is tuned for best performance when running applications in a client environment by reducing application startup time. And the client version is tuned for quick loading. It will execute very fastly and it is reducing application startup time and it makes use of interpretation. This is about Java Hotspot client virtual machine. So you have understood clearly, whenever we execute our Java program by using Java command, like for example Java example, then our class example is executed by using our client virtual machine because it is tuned as best performance when running applications, when running programs. That's the reason. And also it is reducing application startup time. That's the reason it makes use of interpreter very fastly. First I will make a note about all these points. The Java hotspot client virtual machine is the default virtual machine because by default all our classes will be executed by using our client virtual machine. By default, Java program is executed with client virtual machine. As its name implies, it is tuned as best performance when running applications or programs in a client environment by reducing application startup time. The client version is tuned for quick loading and it makes use of interpreter. Which interpreter? Just now we have discussed just in time. To get high performance. So this is about Java Hotspot client virtual machine. Next we have Java Hotspot server virtual machine. Next we have Java Hotspot server virtual machine. So the Java Hotspot server virtual machine is designed for maximum program execution speed for applications running in a server environment. Means the server version loads more slowly, putting more effort into producing highly optimized Git compilations. Git is nothing but just in time, and that yields higher performance in our program. If we want to start Java Hotspot server virtual machine, we have to use command like I will show you. For example, for if you want to execute Java Hotspot client VM, what is the command you use for this? You will use Java some example. This is the command you will use to execute your Java program by using hotspot client virtual machine. But if we want to execute our Java class by using server virtual machine, you will use command like Java /- server example. This is the command to execute your Java class by using server virtual machine. But this Java Hotspot server virtual machine is mainly designed for maximum program execution speed for applications, which is running in a server environment. And the server version loads more slowly. It will load our class very slowly by putting more efforts on our class, and it will produce highly optimized just-in-time compilations that yields higher performance. This loads and this executes our class very slowly by putting more efforts with just-in-time compilations. This is about Java Hotspot Server VM. I will make a note about this. The Java Hotspot Server VM is designed for maximum program execution speed for applications running in a server environment. The server version loads more slowly. That's the reason we don't use our server virtual machine to execute our class. It loads more slowly and it will put more efforts on our class by using just-in-time compilations. But you have to use server virtual machines for maximum program execution, like the applications which is running in our server environment. There you can use it more slowly, putting more efforts into producing highly optimized just-in-time JIT compilations that yield higher performance. So this is about Java Hotspot client virtual machine and Java Hotspot server virtual machine.